So the legend is here among us today.
Hello, good afternoon. Is that Archana?
Yes, sir. Hi, how are you?
Very well, very well. You're looking very bright and cheerful.
Thank you so much, sir. Meeting you has always been a brightful moment for me.
And that's very nice of you to say that. I think it's reciprocal, and I have the same feelings. I always like meeting young and vibrant and passionate people. So it's always a wonderful and a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, sir. We already have many participants with us and I was just telling them about the REVtalk show, which I started in June, just occupying my COVID time period, not to keep myself busy. And a long time passion was to keep all the hoteliers and all the great leaders I have worked personally with, all the people I mentor and look up to. So it was started in June, sir. Just give you a brief idea about it. And now,
why don't you, if you don't mind, sorry, Archana, if you don't mind, why don't you also give us a little small introduction of your background and your what all have you done?
Okay. So my journey has been not as yours. It has been just almost more than a decade now. I started my career in 2008 from Taj Group of Hotels as a front office associate. And then I moved to executive. And then Jaipur was having a Lalit Group of Hotels, new hotel opening in 2011. So for 4 years, I was with Taj Rambagh Palace. Then I moved to Lalit as a pre-opening team member, as a reservations executive. In Rambagh Palace only, I shifted to reservations, knowing that my journey I wanted to get into numbers and revenue and the budgets and everything, which was more exciting. Thanks to you, who gave me the meaning of budget for the first time. When you came, I understood why Mr. Singh is here. I was asking everybody, being a very fresher. So everyone said, budget meeting hai na? What is that? So when you met us in the town hall, it was the first moment when I understood the meeting of forecasting, budgets and all that stuff. Then from Lalit, the journey began in reservations and revenue. I moved to Internet Hotels Group, which is Crown Plaza Jaipur, Accor, and then I moved to Hyatt, which is Alila Fort Bishangarh, as a revenue manager. From there, I moved to JW Marriott in Mumbai as a cluster revenue manager for almost 7 properties, which was a 780 total inventory of rooms.
Oh, that's great.
Handling JW, Juhu, Sahar, and St. Regis and Westin and all those properties.
Wow.
COVID came, I had to come back to Jaipur due to some of my health issues. Then moving back, definitely looking forward to move back in the industry from November or December onwards once the hiring and everything opens. Fingers crossed when it happens, I don't know. But that's the journey so far. Have many leaders and many people who I have learned from. So that's the small journey till now.
That's wonderful, Archana. That's very nice of you to share your journey with us. And I think you have had an experience of many, many different hotel chains.
Yes.
And so it's wonderful to see your growth, and you still have the passion, and you're looking forward to coming back to the industry. So that's great. And I just see a couple of good people, some of them who I also know. So I just saw Shazu Zakaria, who's a very well-known colleague and a very good well-known chef, old colleague, and we were in Pusa together. So he's also joined in. So I'm happy. I hope you have a good audience today, and I look forward to our interaction. So I'm with you. You can start when you want and how you want.
Yes, for sure, sir. So just giving you a brief about today's episode, which is a grand finale, and I definitely wanted it to be grand. So none other person can be a better member for me or a participant for me than you, having a journey of more than 4 decades, which is like number to say. Especially, I would like to tell everybody here who is there, Mr. Singh not only brings experience of 40 years with him from the Taj Group of Hotels, but he has launched his own Trans Hotels of India, which we'll slowly and steadily know about him more. But he has, like Vivanta by Taj brand, I just know as a person When I met him, a legendary person who is a combination of inspiration, who is a person of learning, he's a friend more. I don't want to miss this word. He is more of a friend. You can share your problems with him. You can have, I trust me guys, I would really like to tell all the participants here today, when I moved from Taj to Lalit, when I moved from IHG to Hyatt, I moved to JW even, I called up Mr. Singh and I said, Ki, sir, I am just got this opportunity. Should I move? He was saying, yes. But once in my entire journey, the person, I believe we met in 2009. And after that, we are just talking to each other today. It's more than 10 years. 2014, when my mother passed away, I don't know how come sir came to know about it. And I called him, sir, I'm getting opportunity in Mumbai. Should I, sorry, JW Delhi. His statement was, everyone, please listen to it carefully. A normal leader or a normal hotelier would say, yeah, it's a very good opportunity. Please go ahead. Sir told me, no, your father requires you now. Don't go anywhere. Just stay with him for at least 2 to 3 years and then go wherever you want to go. So he is not only a hotelier or a leader, he is more of a friend, a true guide who will guide you as per your career, who will guide you as per your personal life. Every decision sir has answered me is like it has 100%. 8% I can't say 99, or it is more than 100% only. Anyways, so just to give a brief about him, we have prepared a small presentation for you, sir. I'll just share my screen, because definitely covering the more than 45 years journey was a big task, but we have tried to cover it in just a slide of 30 slides. Please let me know when my screen is, if everyone...
At the moment, your screen is gone. Yeah, I think it was there, and yeah, it's come back.
Okay. I was actually reading a few days ago somewhere the meaning of true fame, which we can say or we normally understand. Sir is a full hall of fame, I would say. The true person, I would say, is, I was reading somewhere from Machona Dilwayo that wealth always makes you happy, power makes you remarkable, but fame makes you honorable. And that's the reason I look up to Mr. Singh, that he is actually very honorable. Guys, Mr. Singh started his, like I was, there are many people in the participants today who were not even born when he was doing his IHM in 1972. From there, he went to Cornell University, Harvard, Cambridge, and so on and so on. He has been into the industry since 90s, ages, more than 40 years back. He has been into Taj. He is based on a strong knowledge of hoteliering, which he has gained over the years through several key responsibilities. Taj properties in New Delhi, in not only in India, Sri Lanka, Australia, Malaysia, Bhutan, Egypt, Dubai, and Africa, everywhere. He has opened 17 new properties as a chief operating officer. He started his journey from food and beverage background as a trainee chef. And then today, so many awards, having his personal journey, married to a beautiful lady whom I have met, and she is a great personality as well. Not only a true hotelier, but a very respected father, having his lovely sons who really respect him very, very much. Mr. Singh is such a humble person, and that his sons also carry with himself. Honourable, truly the word goes with him. Then Vivanta, Taj has been his dynasty basically. Through his years, he has helmed several business and luxury hotels, including the Taj Banjara, Hyderabad, Taj Bengal, Kolkata. He has launched iconic signature restaurants like the Tea House of the August Moon and the Orient Express. Again, Taj Krishna, Hyderabad. I have known him in the sense I have studied about him since he was a general manager there. Then area director of Taj GVK Hotels, Taj Samudra Colombo. So many awards. You name the award and that is in cupboard. You will find that in his cupboard. It's not only that he works only professional. He is coming and he makes his professional journey his personal journey. It becomes his personal life. He feels that my employees are my family. It's not coming and going back. Meeting everybody, standing with everybody in their problems, giving motivational speeches to everyone. People, at times in our journey, we feel so many moments where it becomes like everyone feels demotivated. He is one person who, respecting all the cultures and everything, he motivates the team. When it comes to work, it is 101%, it is work. Then it's work. Nobody can doubt that. And the biggest result is, which being a revenue manager, definitely, how can I miss out talking about numbers? From 600, in 2009, from 600 crores, Taj went to 1800 crores in 2015, which is it is triple in numbers, which is a journey of actually awarding number. He has also served as director on the boards of Taj, Lanka Hotels, United Hotels. Again, I really want to say he has been an executive member of the Hotel Association of India. Apart from this, trust me, he is superbly well educated, and moreover, Pacific Area Travelers Association, then Safari Hotels, which I am third. I would like to say one more thing in his leadership tenure. Some of them would be surprised, not everyone. Vivanta was declared the third best hotel brand in the world, not in India or Asia, in the world by Condé Nast Traveler USA in its annual Business Traveler Awards. I'm sure the people who are from the hotel background today here, everyone is aware how important this award is. The magazine is one of the best magazine, which is Condé Nast Traveler USA. His strong knowledge of hoteliering has given lot of people lot of motivation. And again, I would really like to say, so many nominations, titles, people have written so much about him, so many magazines, everywhere. And the good thing is, he always believes in sharing his knowledge. It's not that the knowledge, there are so many people I know who keep their knowledge with themselves. With his 40 years of journey, Mr. Raymond Bixson, and with such a big name, he himself, I have heard his interview on YouTube. He was like, he had really no words. He was speechless when Mr. Veer Vijay Singh had his farewell. There was so much to talk about him. There was so much to mention about him that he said, if I start talking, the entire evening will just pass on. So let's keep it simple and let people speak. And there were so many, in fact, today also, there were so many people who wanted to talk about you, sir, but due to less time and your upcoming meetings at 5 o'clock, we tried to keep that short, motivating everybody. Then his journey come as a friend, not only a hotelier or a professional. He has been an awesome friend. He doesn't miss his collaboration with corporate sector or any. And then he is the kings of the kings. You know, for a friend, he has always been a king of the king. No matter any hotel he goes, he can find more than 10 friends in every hotel. He rejoices with his friends, he parties, he travels. A person who fulfilling his life and tries to keep smiles on everybody's face. None of the person can say that he has time for his adventures, but no, you can see the picture. He is full of adventure, no matter traveling with vacations. So many adventurous pictures I had, but I tried keeping it small. And the lion, oh my God, so this image, I was like, I will talk about this image with sir for sure. So this is all about Mr. Singh, and I am sure there is so much which you can let us know, which is not there on the screen now, which is going to be great, sir.
Archana, first and foremost, thank you so much. I really don't deserve all this. You've been extremely kind to me, and very. But if I ever have to take a PR manager for myself or my company, I think I should take you, because you've done some excellent work for me. I don't know where did you get these pictures from. For me also, you dug some great.
You are all over me. Like, for knowing you is all. You find any folder in my laptop, it will have one photo of yours.
Well, I didn't know this. Thank you so much, but very kind of you. I think one of the medias of getting these ways of getting this is through Facebook. So I don't know, is it Facebook or is it what? But really, I appreciate your taking a lot of pain. I think more than trying to talk about just one person, the idea today should be that we need to share our experiences with youngsters, young hoteliers, and see how they could excel during this pandemic time and in the future, and what they could learn, maybe some things from me. So to add, if you may allow me to now take on and just say a few things that how I joined this industry, how did I move ahead. I just wanted to say that I was very keen to join the army, and my father was in the army, in the state forces in 1938, and he was in the Jaipur Lancers, and I thought I would also join army, but unfortunately did not have some great experiences in the NCC camps, and felt that it was not the right place for me. I went to Bombay many years ago when I was a young boy, about 11, 12 years old. And my mother and my aunt took me to the Taj Mahal, Bombay.
Okay.
And after an evening dinner, we sat down at the Gateway of India. And while I was sitting at the Gateway of India, everybody normally sits at the Gateway of India and they look at the sea and they see the beautiful ships coming in. They also, of course, admired the Taj. I won't say they won't admire the Taj. Now they do it maybe more, but in those days, it was there. But yes, as you know, the Taj Mahal Mumbai came in 1903, and the Gateway of India came in 1911. So here is the story of a beautiful hotel which came before the monument. The monument came later. It's a very unique story. I was sitting there and I was looking continuously at the Taj, and my eyes were just stuck at I was in awe of the beauty that the Taj Mahal Mumbai has. And I said, you know, if ever I work in the industry, I would like to work in this hotel. And as a young 11 or 12-year-old boy, I made that as a dream, as a vision. And later on, I was in Jaipur, and I happened to go to the Rambagh Palace Hotel. And the general manager was Mr. Rawat Singh Ji, who was representing the Maharaja of Jaipur. And it was still a property with the Maharaja. And when I went there, I saw what does the general manager do, the kind of respect that he gets, the car and large office, telephone. Even a telephone was a very attractive thing at that time. I'm talking about late 69, 70. And I told my mother that I want to be a hotelier. And later on, she took me, when the Taj took over in 1972, Mr. Divya Bhanu Singh Chawda, who also happens to be a distant relative, a brother-in-law of mine, we went to him and we asked, my mother said that he's very keen to join the industry. And that's when he put me to Mr. Rakesh Goyal, who was the front office manager and who had been to the Pusa Institute. And he advised me that I think the best way to start a career is to join Institute of Hotel Management. And that was my first step in the beginning. And I did a 1-year diploma in reception and bookkeeping because I was a little late. And then I did the 3 years diploma in hotel management, which also was a graduation. And from day one, my aim was to join the Taj Bombay. And so interviews happened and I was very lucky. There was a very strong body. A panel came from the Taj, which if I remember rightly, Mr. Vikram Singh, Mr. JDF Lam, Mrs. Ramola Mahajani. And we were interviewed, and out of the 85, 90 people, about 6, 7 were selected, and I was lucky to be selected.
Wow.
But yeah, but I was very keen to join the food and beverage operations, but they took me as a trainee chef. And so I said, but why do you want to do that? But Mr. Vikram Singh, who was also my guardian, was very insistent that I should join in the kitchens. So I had a 6 months tenure in the kitchens. I was very lucky. I worked with a very famous chef, George Hamilton. With George Hamilton, I learned the importance of timing. And he used to be one of those gentlemen who used to say, I'll meet you at 4:50. And we used to laugh at him that, what do you mean by 4:50? Why don't you just say 5 or, 4:30 or 4:45? But when he said 4:50, he meant 4:50. And that's when we learned the importance of time. We in India, with our Indian stretchable time, as we talk about or joke about, I think we don't realize the importance of time. And I always say that's the only asset in the whole world which is equal to everybody. All of us are not born equally. Some are born in different homes. Some are born with different looks. Some are born with different abilities. Some deformed. And then again, the life is not equal for us in every respect. But time is the same for maybe the Prime Minister of India or the President of the United States or a hotel general manager or a steward or anybody. So time is one thing which is so important, and if you can manage it well, you will be able to surely succeed. So that's when I remember with George Hamilton, I learned that. Then I moved to food and beverage in Bombay Taj, worked in beautiful restaurants like Shamiana and Sea Lounge and Tanjore. But I was lucky to launch a couple of restaurants. So one of the first ones I launched was the Rangoli restaurant at the National Center of Performing Arts in Tata Theatre. That was the first time I think the Taj opened a restaurant outside the hotel. Okay. So it was a great learning. We opened that restaurant Rangoli and we used to do 400, 425 lunches a day. It was a very popular restaurant. Oh, in 1982, I moved to Taj Palace. We launched the Taj Palace Hotel in Dhola Kuan, Delhi. And I was the first manager of Isfahan. I was also partly involved in the opening of the Orient Express with Faraj Jamal.
Okay.
And later on, I opened the Tea House of the August Moon,
yes,
a Chinese restaurant which became a big success. We served the first time the Peking duck, and we served the dim sums the first time. As you know, the Taj is always known for the Szechuan cuisine. But these were some new, unique things that we started in the Tea House. During this time, the Taj Palace was just coming up, and then I moved to Taj Mahal, Delhi. And during this time, I also got a chance to be involved with the Chogam. The Chogam was a very, very large convention of 120 head of states who had come there. And then we had the NAM. The NAM was another very, very large convention. Both these were held in Taj Palace, Taj Mahal, and Goa. We also had the Young Presidents Organization, which is the World Congress happened there. We had the Asian Games during that time. Later on, of course, I also got the opportunity in Hyderabad to be involved with Commonwealth Games, with the World Police Games, National Games. These were some of the activities and events that really gave us a great learning. Yeah. During this time, of course, we met many, many dignitaries. In Taj Mansingh, when we had 120 Commonwealth heads staying all over in Delhi, we got a chance to interact with many of them. And so it kind of showed how these gentlemen or ladies manage their time, manage the humility, manage that huge responsibilities. And that was great learning for all of us. I remember Mr. Kenneth Konda, Imelda Marcos, Yasser Arafat, and so on and so forth. Very many people, Shimon Paresh. So it was great. We also, along with that, met some very interesting dignitaries, film personalities from Hollywood, I met Sean Connery, I met Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. So, you know, you
Yeah,
met
I
all
saw
of
your
them.
pictures. Yeah,
Yeah. So
many
in
of your
Bombay,
pictures.
of course, yeah. So in Bombay, of course, we met all the actors. We were in awe of Dharmender and all those actors, Amitabh Bachchan and Vinod Khanna and so on and so forth. But it was, I think, a great opportunity. In the industry, we meet so many people. While doing this, we also had the opportunity to represent hotel associations in the state as well as in the national body. I represented as an executive committee in the FHRAI national body, in the national body of Hotel Association of India as a Taj representative. We got opportunities to work with chief ministers. We got opportunities to work with many ministers, tourism ministers. We were also responsible. I got opportunity to do the tourism plan for the Andhra Pradesh during Chandrababu Naidu's time. I made a presentation to Chandrababu Naidu to tell him what is tourism, what is world tourism, what is India tourism, how less the India tourism share is, and how less the Andhra Pradesh share is. So it was very interesting during these times we did that. As you said, we did a lot of launches of several hotels. So apart from the Taj Palaces and the Taj Krishna, which was a very big launch, it was taken over as Krishna Oberoi, and then we launched it at Taj Krishna. That was a big success story also. We took over, when I took over in 2000, the hotel used to do 16 crores. And when I left in 5 years, we reached 115 crores. Yeah. And from 16 to 115, and it was doing a 30% GOP, we did a 68% GOP. So it was a very great opportunity, a lot of learnings, how to launch these kind of hotels. Taj Deccan from Holiday Inn. And as you mentioned, 18 to 19 hotels in Vivanta were launched by us during that time. Another great achievement during that time that happened was taking over of the palaces. As you know, the Taj has always looked at restoring and running these beautiful palaces, from the Rambagh Palace, Jaipur, the Lake Palace, Udaipur, or the Umaid Bhavan, Jodhpur. But the Falaknuma Palace, Hyderabad, was taken during my tenure. Okay. And we also took over Chao Mohalla Palace, King Koti, Nazri Bagh, Chiran Palace. Finally, we just now have the Falaknuma with us, and it's been restored and renovated and relaunched as one of the most beautiful palace hotels in the world. So that was a great learning there also. Also, I was in Sri Lanka when I was the head of the Sri Lanka Taj Hotels and Maldives. During that time, we saw the LTTE issues that were going on, and it was a difficult time. And later on, when I became the chief operating officer for the Taj Premium Hotels in 2005-6, then we launched the Vivanta brand in 2009. And from a 16 hotel, we took it to 42 hotels. And as you rightly said, we took it up from 600 crores to 1850 crores. Was the Vivanta brand, not the Taj. The Taj was 1650. Yeah. So that was a very interesting time. And not only did we launch this brand, we were able to compete with the glitzy international brands.
Believe, sir, increasing revenue, maybe in luxury and palace properties, it's okay because we have a high paying guests, right? But in the mid segment and in business hotels, it is a huge, I would say, like a recognizing achievement, becoming from 600 to 1800.
Yes, it was. You're right. It was difficult. And as you launch new hotels, you don't become profitable immediately. It takes you at least 2-3 years. We had 6,000 rooms. We had 42 hotels, 6,000 rooms in 7 countries, and 12,000 associates and staff with us in the Vivanta brand. And I think, as you mentioned, it was rated by Condé Nast travelers, not Condé Nast editors or writers, but Condé Nast travelers. 86,000 of them do this voting, and they voted that time, if I remember right, it was 6 senses, Peninsula, and Vivanta. These were the 3 brands which were voted as the best brands, hospitality brands in the world. So it was a great opportunity, great achievement. We learned a lot. All I can say, this Taj journey has been really rewarding for me also. And I'm very thankful to the House of Tatas. I'm very thankful to the Taj Group of Hotel and the various leaders that I've worked with, from Mr. Kerkar, Mr. Krishna Kumar, Mr. Raymond Dixon, and many others, Rakesh Sarna, and finally now Puni Chatwal, though I never worked with him. But the great learnings with Camellia Punjabi, Mr. Subir Bhaumik, Mr. Shashank Varti, Saif Satish Arora, many. So it was a great learning. And you, as you mentioned about me, but I think that happened in the entire Taj. We felt like a part of family. We never felt that we are working for an organization. There's a very famous Confucius saying that if you select the job that you love, then you never work a single day in life. So it happened to me. I never felt that I even worked a single day. In those 40 years, 39 plus, nearly 40 years with the Taj, I looked forward going to work nearly every day.
Every day.
Now, it doesn't happen, and I don't want to make a very rosy picture that, oh, everybody, every day was great and every day was lovely. There are challenges, and that's what we are all here for. As leaders, our responsibility is to see that how do we tackle challenges. So there are challenges from guests, because they are, of course, going to be demanding, and why not? They pay for it. From vendors, from owners, from managements, from staff. So challenges will come. You will have bosses who will be difficult. It's a very old saying that you join organizations, but you leave bosses. So normally, sometimes, you know, it's very important to be able to be patient and understand that there are two people you cannot choose in life. You can't choose your parents, and because you're born, they will remain all your life your parents, and we're lucky to have them. I'm glad what you just mentioned, and I'm just digressing a little bit, but if I said that to you, that yes, look after your father, it's time that you should be with him. I always believe that it's a very important part of life for us to look after our parents. And whoever have the parents now, I think you're very lucky. And please make this as your task of life to see that you can care for them, because you can never repay them or what they have done for you. But whatever little you can look after them, I think it's very, very important. So I think that's very, very important. So if you can do that, I think I was talking something and I moved away. But yeah, it's been, I think one has to be very modest in your thing, always be caring and help people while you can do so. After this, of my 40 years as it went past by so fast, I sat with my sons and I said, now what do I do? There were some opportunities coming to me to work further. Also, the Taj had given me some opportunities, but I think me and my two sons sat down and we said, enough, you worked so long, and now I think we should start our own. And that's how we launched the Trans International Hotels and Resorts Private Limited. It's a management company. It's not reached grand success, as you've been kind enough to say that. There's a lot of things that we need to do. But we also do consultancies. So we do consultancies for hospitalities, for restaurants, for hotels, for any hospitality ventures. So that's where we are at the moment. This has been, I think, I would say, my journey of last 45 years now. In fact, as you rightly said, I joined the hotel management in 1972. So if you take that way, it's been a long journey.
A long journey.
So there are some other things, but I'll be happy to answer to your questions. And what would you like me to share more about with the people who are watching here?
So definitely, we all would like to know that how has the industry evolved in last of your 4 decades? How much the customers have changed? How much has the work culture, work environment, everything has changed?
So yeah, it's a very interesting question. 4 decades or nearly more, people did not want to join hotel industry. And that was a very sad thing. So, you know, people said, you want to become a khansama? Do you want to become a waiter, a bearer? So people didn't understand that what is the scope going to be of this industry. And sometimes, unfortunately, the customers who were coming from this part of the world, especially from India, did not realize the value of the Indian hotelier or the people who were serving you. And so they were sometimes badly treated by the guests. So that was a very difficult, for the staff, it was a very difficult time. People used to snap their fingers and call you. I just share one small experience. We used to have a boss and he used to come and tell me that when somebody does that, start looking under the table. And I said, what do you mean, sir? He says, tell them, sir, are you looking for a dog or a cat? Because my name is Veer Vijay. If you want to call me Veer Vijay. So that was the time when people really did not treat the staff very well. The customers have changed a lot from that time. Today, customers have widely traveled. They've seen some of the best hotels in the world. They now don't only are far more demanding because they now understand. They're discerning. They know what to expect from a hotel. They know what's a 3-star hotel, a 4-star hotel, a 5-star hotel, or a 5-star deluxe hotel. They know that what is the price that they are paying for, what is the value for money, and they are demanding. And I think Indian customers are demanding, and which is nothing wrong in it. The whole world has to recognize it. Every international country once upon a time did not want Indian customers. That's all changed now. Today, I think it's the most important segment of customer. 24 million Indian tourists are traveling abroad. So today the Indian customer is discerning. They're changing. They know the quality of food. They understand. There was a time like in the 80s when we got wines. We tried to sell wines in Taj Mahal, Delhi. And we did 2 very, very big exercises. We bought wines directly from France vineyards. We had a gentleman known as George Duboff. And the George Duboff helped us getting these beautiful wines which matched the Indian taste and the Indian food. Okay. So we got them in large numbers and tried to price them within 450 rupees, 500 rupees, so that people understand and start drinking wines. People were buying scotches from bootleggers. There was more Johnny Walker available in India than made in Scotland. It used to come from Dubai in such large numbers. So we got scotch known as Findlaters. And we got 2 containers, 10,000 cases each of large containers of Findlaters. We did blind tasting and we started selling Findlaters at 350 rupees a bottle. So we were playing a very important role. The Taj has played a very important role in cuisine. We did it by introducing Szechuan cuisine. Before that, it was all nothing but, chicken chop suey, American chop suey, or chow mein and such kind of dishes, sweet and sour. We got the Szechuan cuisine. We got chefs from Hong Kong. We got chefs from later on even mainland China. And we got them to do Szechuan cuisine at the Golden Dragon in Bombay, the Golden Dragon in Delhi, the House of Ming in Delhi, the Tea House in Delhi, then the Golden Dragon in Chennai. So these were some of the restaurants. We were literally trendsetters. Same way we were helping to promote wine. So the customers that time were of a different kind. They had to be maybe given some kind of cues. Today, customer is very demanding. He's discerning. He's traveled. He knows what is Creole cuisine, what is Puerto Rican cuisine. I mean, they understand all that. Forget about just Chinese or teppanyaki or Japanese or Korean. So they've become demanding now, and which is nice because the travel has opened up. You're getting people from all over the world. This is one industry where you've always had competition from all over the world. Competition is not only from internal. Now the brands have started coming, Archana. Sorry, I just wanted to conclude. So earlier there was only, like the cars we had in India was only Ambassador or Fiat or Herald. Today, then there was this Taj and Oberoi and ITDC. But today, competition is there. It's good to have competition. You've got Starwood hotels. You've got the best hotels from all over the world, St. Regis, Conrad's, Hyatt's, Marriott's. You just name them and they are there. So I think the time has changed. It has evolved. And it's overall a good thing. So people are having a lot more opportunities for growth.
Yeah, and maybe that's the reason that people are changing their brands maybe in 4 years or 5 years of time. Rather than old people who we know were working in single brand for 10 years or 15 years. Today, children are just, even the newcomers, jo humse bhi naye aaye, they are changing it 1 or 2 years, which I don't think is correct. But there are many people who are changing it within months. In fact, if you see LinkedIn Uthake today, there are so many students and freshers who change in months.
So Archana, what you're saying is very true. I'm of course a little old hotelier, and I believe that one should not do hop, step, and jump too much.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I do realize things change. I mean, my sons, who are both in early 30s, would also, I think, agree with what you're saying, that people would like to find learnings in different brands. Now, for me, I say in the Taj, when I worked for 40 years and I worked with different managing directors, different general managers, different vice president, I learned different things and different situations. Like from the time of Mr. Ajit Kerkar to the time of Mr. Kishore Kumar, there was a major change that took place.
Correct.
So learnings also happen in the same organization. But yes, it's nice to learn from different brands. But at this particular moment, which we are going through a pandemic, we are going through COVID-19, I think my advice to all youngsters would be that please do not just do hop, step, and jump. Hold on to your jobs. I always tell a youngster that please at least remain for 3 years in a particular job. If you don't think that it's looking after you and you're not growing in that organization, then look for another job. But as you rightly said, a couple of months, people just get 5,000 rupees more from another job and they jump to that job. Now that should not, I think, should not happen.
True, I agree, sir. We have few people here who would definitely like to ask few questions. So we have before we get along other people, one lady who has helped me out in this REVtalk show. Basically, we were 4 friends who started this. Me, Bhavani Singh Shekhawat, Amit Rao, and Harsha Mukhija. We have all the 4 here. But Harsha would like to talk to you and ask something in terms of hotel only. So Harsha, if you can just put your video on.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Harsha.
How are you, sir?
Very well. Nice talking to you and knowing that you 4 were the people who started this. So congratulations for bringing it to this far. And please let me know what you want to know. What can I answer?
First of all, before I, shoot my question, I would like to tell that, since you have confirmed your presence for this particular show, she was very excited. She's been working on your, every minor detail, getting all those details from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from all the social media. She puts your name on the Google and searching what best, she can. So
congratulations. I think she's done a wonderful job. Archana has done a wonderful job. I mean, I myself not seen some of these pictures for years. So I think she's done a wonderful job.
So I whenever she speaks about you, because I've never met you in my, tenure, but whenever she speaks about you, I can see her, the charm in her eyes and, that get brighten. So that's absolutely, I really started, connecting with you without meeting you.
Can't you see the charm in my eyes when I'm talking to you people? So it's always lovely. It's reciprocal. It's lovely to talk to hoteliers, young hoteliers.
Right, absolutely. So thank you so much for giving us the insight about the business and your journey. I am basically an HR person, so I will ask you a question related to my domain. So I mean that will help all other people to, so since the COVID era has come and we all are awaiting for the vaccine to come, and then we, get to the previous things. Now we are trying and adjusting the new normal, the work from home culture and everything. What best advice you would like to give all the HRs to handle the business, to handle the right talent, because we are the people who work for the employee and the employer both, right? So we are the bridge. So what advice you would like to give to this fraternity?
I think it's a very relevant and a valid question. According to me, HR is if I was not an operational person, I would love to do HR. I personally feel, as you rightly said, that you are a bridge between the management owners as well as the people, the workers. And for you, it's a very important moment to see that how we do not demotivate, disillusion our associates. Today, that is what is happening. I've been trying to tell people and leaders who are at the moment on this position, on the seat, that let us be very careful of not spreading a lot of fear among the people's mind. Yes, it is a matter of great concern what has happened to the world, what's happened to tourism, and hotels is something which is quite unbelievable. I think it only must have happened many hundred years ago when this kind of unfortunate, like a SARS and more than that, that's kind of a virus had spread. But coming back to this, I always see the half glass full. And I personally feel that this time is going to go. Now, when, it's very difficult to predict. I've been predicting some amount when people have asked me. I predicted that July, August, September will see a 35% business of last year. Now, many hotels are doing 35%. I said it will start coming from hills and resorts, then to large cities and resorts around the cities. But what has happened, leaving that business is slowly coming. It may take a month or more, but I think what's happened is a lot of people have lost their jobs. Now, that's a matter of great concern. I'm very happy to say that organizations like the Taj and ITC and some more have maintained their staff levels and they've not asked people to go. But others have not done that. Okay, the situation is so bad that when you have no earnings, how can you have payrolls going on? So people have had gone to 50% of salaries and such thing. But first and foremost, I think as an HR manager, we should surely suggest that people should not be asked to leave their jobs. Some of them on their own, if they are going and they want to be in home, it's their choice, or they want to do something else, it's their choice. But third thing is, once they come back, I mean, in the meanwhile, you please be in touch with all the associates. Just because somebody is gone, please don't do that you forget them. Make a list of all your associates, put them in the different buckets, A, B, C, D. A are your best performers, B are number 2, and C are average, and D are not performing. Make this very clearly, dispassionately, and try and see that you don't lose your star performers. So that should be your number 1 thing. Number 2, please stay in touch with all your associates. Number 3, see that they are getting all the medical assistance that they are required to get for COVID-19 or for whatever, I mean, through ESIs or through the various insurances or through the company, they should be taken care of. Because I always remember how the Taj took care of people after 26/11 attack. So that's a very important part, that you should take care of your associates. They are your partners, they are your stakeholders. Absolutely. Next, when the people come back, I think you have to relook at your staffing strategy. And in India, I remember in the Taj Bombay, we used to have a time we had 1:5. So there are 620 rooms and we had something like 3,000 people working in Taj Bombay. Then things change, and nowadays luxury used to boast of saying we are 1:3. For a 100-room hotel, there were 300 staff in luxury 5-star hotels. And for a 4-star hotel, it was literally 1:1.5. And then for 3-star hotel, it's 1:1 or 1, something like that. But that ratio now needs to be reworked. As it was olden times, I remember we used to be telling that there's a cake, and the cake has to be shared by 6 people or by 12 people. If there are 12 people sharing it, the piece will be smaller. If there are 6 sharing it, your piece will be larger. So the intention should be that you need to have right amount of staff, not overstaff, properly trained, get the best out of them, do work in time motion study, so that you don't waste staff just standing, doing nothing in restaurants or in front office or in housekeeping. Utilize them to the best, make sure their restaffing is done properly, and have a lot of multi-skilling done. That's the number 1 thing that I think HR managers and training managers should look at. How can you have multi-skilling done? Those times of, specialization where a utility worker said, I'm only going to mop the floor in the kitchen, I will not do the washing of the utensils. Or a housekeeping boy said, I will only do room cleaning, I will not do public area cleaning. All that is gone. I remember many years ago, I went to the Novotel Agra, which I think became the Trident. And I saw the chef behind a counter taking a check-in. So that kind of thing has to happen, or a housekeeping girl behind the reception, or the reception girl cleaning the floor. So I think time has come for multi-skilling. A lot of training is the next thing that has to be done. Once you do multi-skilling, then the staff has to be trained properly. And I think the time for opening the hotels is coming very close. Some of them have already opened. Some of them are opening shortly. So get prepared for getting your team back. During this time, I hope they were looked after in terms of wherever they were staying, some basic meals were taken care of, the bedding facilities were taken care of. But yes, the time going forward will be survival for the fittest. So this is one of the staff cost has gone up very high. Today in India, the staff cost is within 25 to 28% in some big hotels. It has to come down now. So your number of people has to come down. Multi-skilling has to be encouraged. And your payroll cost should come down to 18-20%. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for the industry to survive and sustain.
You must be knowing Mr. Major Rajesh Chauhan, the Senior Regional Director of IHG. So I met him once and he said, always work by work, not by the title. So obviously people has to be multitasking so that, they can serve in all the required departments as and when required.
Sure. Like, we started the butler service. So you had a guest coming in, he was received by the butler, he was taken to the room by the butler, he was checked in by the butler, the food was served by the butler, and he was checked out by the butler. Same butler is doing everything. So that kind of connectivity, one-to-one contact, and that kind of services now need to be thought about. Now, butlers are, of course, more into luxury hotels, but I'm just trying to say that you'll have to get into, in the Western part, when you will see that one receptionist handles the entire 8-hour shift for a 100-120 room hotel. I went to Australia at the Blue, and we had a 110 room hotel, and we had 100 staff, or 88 staff, sorry. And I went and spoke to somebody, and they said, sorry, you're overstaffed. You should be having about 55, 60 staff for 110 room hotel. So how they are doing it, how they are training the staff, even the customers, of course, perception has to change, which is changing. Today, customer is not wanting too much obtrusive service. They rather be left alone. So that also will change. But I think HR managers need to take care of these issues.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable suggestions.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Over to you, Archana.
Archana, is she there? Is she? Yes.
Of course, sir. Great. Thank you so much, Harsha. So now we just have a quick rapid fire question round with you. So,
okay,
which will make you let us know more about your personal journey and more of you as a human being. We all know your greatest quality is a deep concern for one and all who have been around you. So let's see. I will just have 5 points for you, sir. You have to rate yourself in priority. So family, career, traveling, food, money.
Company, career.
Family, career, traveling, food, money.
Well, I have taken career as number 1 and family as number 2.
Okay.
The rest can follow.
Okay. So in the bracket of 1 to 5, sir, just rank yourself on the below. Social media.
Social media, I would say, I would be about 3.
Okay. Social life.
Social life, I'm 1.
Really?
I'm top. Yeah, I used to be very, very.
Okay, 1 would be 5 then. Top would be 5.
Okay, top is 5. Okay, then I'll be 5.
5. Meditation and yoga.
4.
Okay. Politics.
Politics also quite a bit. 3.
Sports and adventure.
I like politics, not doing politics, but I like to be reading about politics and understanding politics.
Okay. Sports and adventure.
4.
Okay. So one
or
feeling...
maybe 5. Maybe I'll rate myself 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay. So one best feeling or memory you had with your Taj Hotels days.
Taj Hotel days. Oh, it's a very difficult thing.
I'm sure you have many, but anyone which you would like to share with us?
Well, I think the best memory was on my last day. I didn't imagine the kind of farewell Mr. Rakesh Sarna, the managing director, at that time gave us, we were 4 of us who were retiring, and that was Chef Him.Despite, Mr. D.K. Berry, and Mohan Kumar and myself. And I think we got a farewell which was given to kings. The entire ballroom was reserved for us. Everybody,
Yes,
all the senior management was there. And my wife was there. She was called. I especially flew there. She was also part of this event. And they've created a separate wall for all of, each one had a wall with all the pictures we put, lovely food, speeches. I think that was a day that I felt that whatever we did was well received. And we felt so we were humbled by the kind of warmth and love that the Taj gave us.
So, few personal learnings you would like to share with all of us, including me, which we should keep in mind in our journey of career, or as a human being. I believe as a human being also we grow with time. So your personal learnings from your side.
So first and foremost, I mean, I personally believe that to be a good human is the most important thing in life. I mean, to achieve something in career, to achieve something in terms of politics, power, family, and so on and so forth, fame is very secondary. First and foremost is to be a good human being as such. I think that's very, very important. The second thing is I feel is humility. And we all forget, when we start getting powerful, or we get big positions, or we start earning money or something, ego starts setting in. And my mother always told me that the fruit of God is ego. As soon as you get ego, God will eat your ego, will eat you also. So I personally feel that humility, to be always humble and down to earth, to treat every human being equally. If you can do that, I tried to do that, and I hope I did it. But even if it was any level of staff or any level of guest, of course, you will be more attentive to an important guest. That's a different thing. But the stature, the treatment that you will give to everybody is the same. And that, I think, is a very important learning. When you're in a position, also go out and help. People have a different situation. They say, no, if I'm so-and-so, I must not help anybody. I need to be extremely fair. You have to be fair, of course. Nobody is denying that. But when you're sitting on a particular position, please see how you can help the needy. Wherever way you can help them, and especially the weak people. I always try to say that those who were comparatively weaker, I would rather help them than to suppress them. And look after your parents is a personal thing that I always believe in. I think it's a very important thing in your entire life as a personal. Do not forget this responsibility, which a lot of us are forgetting. Don't hop, step, and jump, which I told you. This is the time, don't do that. An important thing is boss management. Because, we start thinking that we want to, the way we behave to our juniors, we don't want our seniors to behave the same way to us. But remember that you have to be very patient, learn how to manage your bosses, especially if you want to succeed in life. In the end of the day, you'll always find a lot of excuses for not succeeding. You'll say, this was not right, that was not good, this is not proper, he likes only chamchas, I'm sorry, I did not do buttering on him. But leaving that apart, I think you have to learn, the boss will take the decision. He's the captain of the ship, he's the man in charge. He will ask you to do certain things in a certain way, do that way. Don't take away your DNA, your backbone remains, but learn boss management. Save for the rainy day. I think that's what is taught today. You have to be really able to save money. It's not living on credit card kind of life. So, people are overspending and all that. And I think today's learning, most important is take care of your health. Be very careful on your health, because I think it's one of the most important things today. It's very easily proven that. So these are some of my personal learnings that I would like to share with you.
Great. So 3 things every career-oriented people should keep in mind while climbing to success, which normally everyone forgets.
3 things that everybody should keep in mind. I would think one is, of course, sure that you are, at least in our industry, we are in the people industry. So be totally people focused. if you do not like people, I don't think you'll be able to succeed too much, because we are dealing with customers, we're dealing with staff, we are dealing with owners, we're dealing with vendors. So people focus is very, very important. According to me, passion for excellence. Whatever you do, you need to do it to the best. So you want to be a cobbler, then be the best cobbler. We have Joy shoes in the Taj Bombay. I always said, make shoes like the Joy shoes. So the attention to details. If you want to do something, do it to the perfection. Have passion for that. I would say the other thing, of course, is in the three, if you're asking me, then this time management will surely come in. Because try and maintain your timing. I've seen that people who have succeeded in life manage the time so well. Manage the time so well. They call you at a particular time, they will be available at that time. They will not say, I'm sorry, sir, I'm very busy, you please come tomorrow. Or you wait for 2 hours. Sometimes it happens in government offices, and I don't understand why they call you at a particular time and they're so busy doing something which I don't know what.
Correct.
But if somebody is giving a time, then time management is extremely important.
Yes.
While I'm on this subject, I'll just add a few more points which I normally tell hoteliers. Leadership is a very important part. Yeah. Be a good leader, not a manager. Manager is easy to do, but leader is somebody who takes his team with him. He shows everything personally. Art of hospitality must be something that you should always remember. Hoteliering, you should enjoy, you should know about hoteliering. If it is wine, if it is cigarettes, if it is smokes and services, if it is cheeses, you have to get into that. Then there is no substitute for hard work. You have to work hard. If somebody says that I rose my life without working hard, I think it's a farce. You can't do that.
So you know what happens is, when you see sometimes, like I have heard this from many people during this 10 episodes journey, many of the students, many of the freshers who are working as executives or trainees, or they tell us that, man, you know what happens is, when you see people just growing on doing that, which you said abhi word chamchagiri wala, तो फिर हार्ड वर्क करने का मन ही नहीं करता. लगता है कि यार हम हार्ड वर्क कर रहे हैं, हमें वो ग्रोथ नहीं मिल रहा है. But there are so many people who are just moving and roaming behind the boss and growing. So
आपको मैं एक चीज बोलता हूँ, मैं दुनिया को सबको समझाया, मेरा ये स्टेटमेंट है कि जो दुनिया अपनी जो लाइफ है ना, ये 100 मीटर्स रेस नहीं है, ये 42 किलोमीटर्स का मैराथन है. और इस मैराथन के अंदर बहुत से लोग भाग रहे हैं आपके साथ, और कुछ लोग आपसे आगे चले जाएंगे. जैसे क्योंकि बहुत जल्दी भागते हैं, उनको अपना रेस को प्लान करना नहीं आता, और वो 5 किलोमीटर के बाद में थक जाएंगे. और आप अगर अपना एनर्जी मेंटेन रखोगे तो आप उनसे आगे जीत जाओगे. तो जो आदमी चमचागिरी करेगा, जो आदमी शॉर्टकट मेथड करेगा, जो somebody gets recognized by doing all that, will last not very long. You will take over him after some time. So you just concentrate on your work. You concentrate on planning your career. And your path, rather than looking at somebody who just come there and is a favorite of somebody and is getting something better. In my life, you know, there has been a time when somebody who's much junior to me became my boss. So do I just say that he did it because he was a chamcha, or he did it because somebody liked him? It's not important. That was his career. That was his life. Let him do best what he can do, and I will do best what I can do. So one has to be able to understand that in a corporate field, in the corporate world, there is going to be such kind of times where somebody will get more recognized than you. But I don't think that should demotivate you. One must learn, to that person who was saying that, must learn to be self-motivated.
Yeah, true. So any like your favorite cuisine?
Well, I love, I would say overall, I think if I had to go eat something different, I would love Oriental cuisine. So I'm very fond of Chinese.
Wow. And your favorite attire?
Favorite attire, most of my life, you know, I personally also, there's something I was going to say. One of the important things is your style statement. And in our industry, I think it's very important to be able to look presentable. Yeah. I know a lot of people sometimes say that, you know, why do you say that a lady should be dressed like this, or lady should be like this? I personally feel it is very important to know that most of the customers today in the hotel industry are more men who are coming in, and they can easily be handled by a lady who's well dressed, speaks well, maintains her calm and composure well. So that's the reason why ladies sometimes are preferred for hostesses job, front office job, PR job, guest relation job, so that's the reason it is. And so it's very important to be having a good personality. So a style statement, I mean, I would say I have all my life worn a jacket or a suit or a tie. So I think it's very important to be dressed well. Today, when I travel sometimes on a flight and I see people coming in bathroom slippers, shorts, night suits, track suits, I feel it's nothing wrong, you got to be comfortable, but you got to wear the right clothes at the right place.
Right place. Yeah, correct. Absolutely. So everyone has some qualities which we remember from our childhood days. So we would like to know your one quality which you carry yourself from since your childhood days.
Well, in my childhood, I think I was extremely a naughty boy. I mean, I was very, I was very naughty. I was very mischievous. I was very boisterous. In school, I had a lot of fun. All I can say in my childhood and my college days, I was very, very influenced by my mother. Okay. And my mother played a very strong role. She was a very strong woman, very spiritual, religious. She made our family run. She used to work with the Maharani Gayatri Devi of Jaipur. And so I think what she did was something outstanding. And she taught me a lot of morals, to be humane, to be loving and caring all people. And my father was another personality. He was full of fun, always joking, and never had classes of people. I mean, he would meet the Maharaja or he would meet a worker in the same way. So, I mean, my memories of as a childhood has been a lot of fun, musty till the time I think I finished my college. And that's when I decided that, well, I've done enough of it. Time has to change. I need to work and do something in my career. And I think that was the time when I, said it, how can I do that? I was not an MBA. I'm not a chartered accountant. I'm not an IT guy, IIT guy. So I said, I'm going to work much harder than all these people. And most of these people, I'm sorry to say, do not have great people skill. They're not really leaders. They can dictate, they can direct, they can manage, but they're not leaders. So I said, I will, this was my quality which was inbuilt in me, to be able to work, to have, create a good team, to work with team, to encourage people. And so that's what I took over when I joined my Taj, and I think that has finally paid well.
I truly know that you have always believed in teamwork. Great, sir. So it was such a fun rapid fire round. And before letting you go, we have a small question from, I'm sure he is just a fresher in the industry, in the chat box, Mr. Raj Kishore, who is just asking that, जैसा ये अभी चल रहा है COVID and all those stuff, people are saying that we don't know how the hotel industry will move ahead. He is doing his hotel management and he just wants to ask that how should he see his career in upcoming days? Should he still continue with the same hospitality management or he should take another path?
So I can totally understand with him. For any youngster who's now getting into the industry and studying and pursuing to become a hotelier, this is a matter of great concern that what will really happen. I can tell you that please don't get disheartened, don't get disillusioned. The industry will continue. There are people who are saying it will take you 3 years to come back. I don't think it's true. For sure, this financial year, the foreign tourists are not coming.
Yes.
So till March, April, you can forget that. Yes. But I always tell that, we were having 8 million foreigners coming to India. In that 8 million, there was non-resident Indians. There were some people traveling from India to Pakistan, Nepal and bordering countries. But we had 24 million Indians who are going abroad. Now, these 24 million also will not be going abroad. So we have a chance of attracting them to our hotels. And I think so what you will see that this 6 months to 9 months, you will have a lot of weddings, meetings, incentives, conferences, and maybe corporate business will slowly and steadily pick up, but a lot of domestic tourists can start coming in. And that's what we need to encourage. So business will come back. Next year, October onwards, we will see the foreigners also coming back. Of course, the big ticket thing is, will the vaccine come? Will this COVID go away by the next 3 months, 6 months? But I think it will. So next year onwards, you will see, I would say the next year, financial year, let us say April to 21 to 32 March, it will be at least 70–80% of last year. So business will come back, jobs will be required. A lot of people are going away, already changed their jobs. Also keep in mind that this hotel management doesn't restrict you to be only a hotelier. This also gives you opportunity to be in the airline business, in the catering business. There are a lot of people who are being taken by multinational companies, call centers, banks. So keep your options open, make your scope wider. But don't get disillusioned. You could start your own business, you could start your own bakery, something else, outdoor catering unit. Business will very much, see, the urge to travel will take human beings from one place to the other. Whatever happens, it cannot be restricted. You can't be sitting and just doing conferences. You have to go to different places to get your business done. So yeah, people will travel, hotels will come up, and you will require jobs. So don't get disillusioned. Stay on, and I'm sure you will do well.
It totally depends on the marketing the hotels do to gather more business today. The main goal is for marketing segment.
Yeah, so marketing segments, you'll have to start thinking of different new segments. Okay. As I was saying 6 months ago, that you'll have to start looking at, packed orders. Correct. So all good hotels are doing packed orders. The rates may come down. You have a very nice, I think the hotel industry in the next 3 months should give very special discounts, attract domestic tourists to come to your hotels.
Weddings and everything. Yeah, correct.
Buy 2 nights and get the 3rd night free. Take a single room, get your partner free. Those kind of things. Promotion. Take a room for so much, meals are inclusive. So those kind of offers need to come in. But marketing, yes, for sure has to be done. But jobs will continue. I know in the beginning a little tough, but I think for a catering college student or a hotel management student, he should not get disillusioned.
Correct. Great, sir. It was lovely having you with us. And there are so many insights which you have given to the students, to all the hoteliers, to everyone who is not from this stream, as a personal journey, as a pure human being. I'm sure in advance, happy birthday. I would like to tell everyone that tomorrow is Mr. Singh's birthday. So any which ways, I just forgot this. Otherwise, I would have kept this session tomorrow only. But I didn't want to get you busy on this show. So I kept it one day prior.
No, so that's very kind of you.
From our side for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Archana. I really want to say that I must compliment you. You asked me if I could be part of this. And I think you've done you very passionately arranged this. You've taken a lot of pain and getting a lot of information. But I only hope that I could share some of my experiences. And during this difficult times, COVID and this sad time for tourism and hotels, please don't get disillusioned. There will be a great opportunities coming. Wish you all the very best to all of you. And thank you once again, Archana, for a wonderful, I think, webinar from my side. And keep in touch. And thank you for your birthday wishes.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.